Hi guys, and welcome to Cultnomics. My name is Paul Hanley, and today I'm going to be chatting to you about a demand schedule and a demand curve. Hi guys, today we're going to look at demand and supply tools and how these can be very useful to assess how free market forces can determine the price and quantity levels in a market. So this is through the process of competition and using price as signals to change both consumer and producer decision making. However, you must be careful to be aware of the assumptions underpinning the tools so you can apply them to the appropriate market. So the first assumption we're going to look at is many buyers and sellers. So you can't have a situation where there's just a few members in that market, or else you'll have undue influence. Number two, what we're going to see is we'll need perfect information. So consumers and producers will need information about prices and quantities of everyone else. Number three, there are price takers in the market. So individuals don't influence price. There's no one large enough to do that. Number four, there's freedom of entry and exit from the market. So new companies, producers can move in, move out without any exit costs. Number five, there are homogeneous products, so all products must be identical in this case, not much advertising going on. Number six, buyers and sellers are independent. That means that they are selfish, they're not altruistic, and they don't take into account anyone else's position making a decision. And finally, clearly defined property rights. So both consumers and producers must take into account costs and benefits in making a decision. Okay guys, so in this video we're going to look at the concept of demand, and we're going to focus in on the market for vanilla ice cream. So this is quite a generic market where there would be a large number of both buyers and sellers in the market, and importantly none of which would have control over the price in the market. What we have down on the left hand side is a demand schedule, which we're going to start with, and this shows both the price of the product and the quantity demanded in table format. So the quantity demanded in this case refers to the quantity demanded of a good, which is the amount that buyers are willing and able to purchase at different prices. So we have a price per kilo of €6 here on the left hand side, and at that level the quantity demanded is 0. We see as the price drops down to 5, the quantity demanded increases, and that keeps on happening as we drop the price level even further. More people are both willing and able to buy the product, right down to a total market size here of 600. So what we want to do is try and translate that information from our schedule onto a graph. To do that, we have price up here on what we call the y-axis, and we have quantity down here on what we call the x-axis. So we're going to take each coordinate for price and quantity and translate them onto our demand graph. We'll start off with a price of 0, and at that price there's a quantity, or a price of 6, and at that quantity we have 0 quantity demanded. Okay, so a price of 6 and 0 quantity demanded is this coordinate up here, our starting one. The price then drops to 5 and quantity increases to 100, so we can put that in here. The price drops yet again to 4 and quantity increases to 200, so we can place that coordinate in. 3 and quantity is 300, 2 and quantity is 400, 1 and quantity is 500, and 0 and quantity is 600. So what we have here is a series of coordinates that comprise a demand curve. So to draw that demand curve, we're just going to start off at the origin point and draw our demand curve downward sloping, such as this. We're also going to label that. So we have our demand curve labeled, and what it shows is the changes in prices in that market and how that impacts quantity demanded. So for example, as the price starts at €6 and drops down to €5, we go from point A to point B on our demand curve, and as price drops by 1, quantity demanded increases from 0 up to 100. So what we find here is a negative or an inverse relationship between the price of a product and the quantity demanded of that product, importantly ceteris paribus, which just means everything else is held constant. So we're only looking at the relationship along this line here between price and quantity demanded. Other factors, which we'll discuss in the next video, can also impact this relationship, such as income levels and the size of the market. So what we have is, as the price drops, quantity demanded increases, which is termed the law of demand. And that can work in the opposite direction as well. So as prices go up, quantity demanded drops in this case here. I hope you call back to Cultnomics soon. Bye for now.